All right, everyone, here we are, back again in the smelly bath. I'm your host, Mazo, with co-host Sis.
Whoa! Yeah.
Yeah, and co-host Nexus.
Hello.
Hey. And special guest NVT.
Oh, quack, do 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 do.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, quack.
I wish we had a boat kick function in the back. All right. Anyway, with that out of the way, thank God. Today we're gonna talk about VIP. So specifically, if you've done VIP, if you want to do VIP in the future, and part of the reason I wanted to talk about this one is because slowly a lot of places are finally starting to open up.
But wait, what do you mean by VIP?
Like for live shows and whatnot.
Okay. So VIP tickets with kind of like benefits.
Yeah, VIP benefit packages. Yeah, that's exactly it. So with everything slowly starting to open, I feel like a lot of people who maybe haven't done it before might be like, man, like, what if I die before the next show? This time I want to make it count. But at the same time, you might be like, well, I do kind of want to know what it's all about. And it's kind of nice to hear from people who have done it before if it is really worth it. Because it could be like, yeah, I did the VIP package and like it was nothing special. They made me feel like a piece of shit. So you never know. But anyway, I don't have much experience with VIP. I have my reasons for that. Maybe we'll get into it, maybe not. I don't know. It's like an hour or so. But let's go with Sis first. Sis, do you have any VIP experience?
Personally, never done VIP.
Dang.
Yeah. Never done VIP. Yeah. I've considered it, but definitely. But yeah, never done it.
Do you have reasons why you haven't done it?
So for overseas VIP tour, so because I'm overseas, I normally get the overseas VIP tour packages when Japanese band come over. They've never really enticed me. No, normally a lot of time I actually don't think I need it. I just want to listen to the music and appreciate it from the back and then mosh at the back. Like not have to worry about being at the front and hitting. I'm always worried about people around me, so I don't want to hit them the back of my head and whatnot. Yeah, I just feel like they haven't been worth the money for me personally. And another reason is simply because I don't live in Japan. Like if I did, I would probably join Lynch's Shadows fan club so I could attend their fan club only performances. And maybe Harlequins, and that's it really. But apart from that,
Does the VIP tickets in Japan work different? Like,
yeah.
Stuff?
I think you can join the fan club, and then you get. So yeah, it's more fan club based, but you'll get like VIP privileges. So you'll be the higher number tickets, which are one of the best tickets.
Oh yeah.
And then you can probably get like limited merchandise. I assume you probably get a mail magazine. Some bands do that, and there's a lot of other things as well. So
for you, what would make it worth it the day of at a show? Like if it was a touring band and they were like, yeah, we're doing a show in your area and we have a VIP package where, I don't know, you can go to Build-A-Bear Workshop with us or something. What would make it worth it for you?
One in a chance opportunities. So for example, when I was in Japan, a friend of mine joined Angelo's fan club, and this was because we, like a group of friends, we wanted to go see the Intersectional Dogma event because Desperate Raids were reviving for just that event for that one night. And we were just like, oh shit, like we need to, like we want to apply. So we only got 2 in the end out of like 5 or 6 of us, but that's fine because it was a gamble anyway. It was like a lottery. Yeah, I think in the end, it just comes down to the individual, really. That sounds like a cop-out answer, but you know, it's true. I'm not enthusiastic about what's on offer to VIPs. And I think some of them are not really thought out properly, but I respect that grind anyway. So
Okay, I get that. Yeah, so something really unique is what would really rip those dollars out of your little hand.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. All right, NBT, you got any VIP experience?
What's that supposed to mean?
Do I have to rephrase it?
No.
What do you mean? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just I was just mocking your attitude. But yeah, I've done
I'm just really tired.
I've done VIP packages several times actually. The ones that can
Money bags over here.
well, I mean, the thing is with VIP and kind of like fan club stuff is that I would only spend it on like the bands that I really, really want to like get the kind of benefits of. So the ones that I've been attending with VIP tickets are, as far as I can remember right now, is the Gazette and Baby Metal. But I'm sure that I've done a few more actually in the past, but I can't remember them right now. So typically with Gazette is that you would, at least if you're attending in Europe, is that you would get like kind of like a handshake event. They said, yeah, they said it was only like high five event at first, one of the times, but it ended up being a handshake event, so that was pretty cool. But the other time I've been to several VIP package like kind of concerts before, and most of them are basically just like handshake events with the artist, and I feel like it's really rewarding because it's like these are the artists you've been listening to for like several years or like a decade, and then you get to meet them and kind of like interact with them at least into some kind of degree. And for example, I'm a big fan of Reta, so I told him that I really liked this new mask that he had for the later releases, and he was like, yeah, and he did like this cross, like Maximum the Hormone kind of cross devil's horn sign thing. So that was pretty cool to get that kind of reaction from him. And for the Baby Metal one, it was mostly to just get in front of the line. So that was mainly it for me. There was like you got some extra merch, but that was it. I didn't really care about the merch, to be honest.
Did you go did you not get VIP for Hatsune Miku? I feel like you.
Oh yeah. I must have done that. I just can't remember if there were any VIP tickets, but I must have gotten it if there was any.
You'll be the first
I
person.
think you were telling us at one point about some Miku concert that you went to, and you did get a VIP something or other. Mayhaps it wasn't the most expensive VIP.
You're right. I did get it. You got extra merch. But I think, yeah, and the people who got the VIP tickets were able to enter like maybe like an hour before everyone else. So that was the reason why I got it. And I didn't really care about the merch that you got, but it was kind of like a nice bonus, I guess.
Did you really want to be like all the way in the front for a hologram?
Yeah, I mean,
for a hologram. We're talking about Hatsune Miku here.
Yeah, my boy.
Disrespect. Damn.
I know, seriously. Did you really want to be in front for a hologram?
Damn.
The thing is, when you're dealing with Hatsune Miku fans, it's very different from like JROCK fans, at least for me, because typically JROCK fans are girls that are shorter than me. But Hatsune Miku fans is a very broad range of people, so being able to be more in the front helps a lot to the experience.
This sounds like a tall man problem.
I guess the foodie is different as well. Like dancing is also like a different. Also adds to that.
Yeah, I mean the people in the front are more inclined to do the dances, like the choreography, furi, because there are typically the people who are in the front are the people who actually know the dances. And I've been kind of accustomed to it now because I've been to so many Hatsune Miku concerts. And the one in Japan, actually, I actually bought VIP tickets to that one. So that was lottery as well. So I was lucky to get my VIP tickets for that one. And I believe personally, even though it was it was arranged in a seated kind of like structure, but I mean, people would still stand. So this was before COVID. But even though you had like a structure where you had your own seat, it's still pretty hard to get a good glimpse of Hatsune Miku if you're too far back, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yes.
Do you actually do the dances at Hatsune Miku's concert, or you just stand in the front and then you're doing the illusion?
Well, no. I mean, everyone pretty much does the dances. It's not really like dance; it's more like gestures with the arms and the
synchronized arm waving.
Yeah, it's more like that. It's not like disco dance.
Because like some of the Visual-kei footage gets kind of freaking intense.
It does get intense, yeah.
Right.
Especially when they ask you to move from one end of the venue from left to right, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets like serious.
Yeah, I was actually in a festival in Japan, like I think so basically I was attending as press, so I was at the back where the sound check guy was at. No, not sound check guy, was called the
soundboard.
So at the back basically, and so I got to see like the full view of the whole crowd when they did this furry going from left to right and then back and forth. It was
It's
crazy.
an amazing sight. It looks amazing.
I've been in a footage like that a couple times. It gets, especially in Europe, it gets kind of intense if you run into shabby people who don't want to lose their spot and they're kind of just like ruining the fun. If it makes sense.
Oh, but are you talking about them doing the furry, or are they just being very inappropriate?
Oh, like everyone's doing the thing where you move to the left, to the right? And there are some people who just like don't want to move with the crowd, and so then you have to go around them, and it's kind of awkward.
That wouldn't happen in Japan.
If everyone moves, then nobody loses their spot, because like you move back after you're done with the thing, you know.
I mean, that's even with a VIP ticket. Like even in Europe, like you can lose your space if you go too far back. Like at least in Japan, I feel like you're secure to like have your space at the well, not right at the front, because that's special. That's very special. but for like to be near the front, yeah, you can definitely secure it more. I would say.
But like, Maza, remember when we went to the Valoof together in Japan? The people in the front, they were like, there was more space there, so they tried to invite like one of our other JROCK news member. Do you remember that?
What I do remember, when I went to go see Vor Chaos, they were with a bunch of other bands, including Hone Your Sense.
Yeah,
and there was it wasn't like a fully packed show, but there was like the front area, and people mind each other's space. But the other thing is, depending on which band was going up at that specific time, people in the front would rotate out with other people who were like, if they were like, yeah, I'm specifically here for this band, I can tell by your shirt you're here for another band. They would rotate out with you with the understanding that later on you would rotate with them.
Exactly.
Like, it was really interesting. There was people would be like, yeah, I like this band, but like I can tell you like them more, and they'd give you front row access.
Yes.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, and that's like free VIP, you know. I feel like especially for Japanese metal bands, like especially like Deviloof, I guess, and if it's that situation, they probably don't have like a VIP kind of thing going on. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not quite sure, but that's because maybe not a lot of people go to their shows. They can do that, they can switch and whatnot.
Subtly throwing the shade. Not a lot. People go to their show.
I don't know, but I don't know.
Well,
I'm
it's
taking a guess.
Yeah, typically it's a live house, so like generally speaking, it is like a smaller number of people, but it's still very kind of like it could be very intense still, despite the number of people who are attending. But like people are, as you guys said, they're very mindful of people who are like, I wouldn't say like real fans, but more into the band than themselves. And it could be a good thing in some cases, but also we do see cases when there has some kind of like it becomes a toxic environment, because the people who would assume themselves as being the biggest fans, they kind of become a bit like kind of elitist to the other people. So you kind of notice that.
I like that.
You're toxic.
But yeah, so those people are sometimes like, yeah, of course I should be in the front. Like it's like there's no question about it. Like just look at me. Just look at my appearance. Like how I'm dressed and stuff like that. So sometimes that kind of thing happens. But at least from my experience, a lot of the times it's been very like people being very gentle and helpful. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is a layer to it. Definitely. So, with that, let's
what about
try.
Nexus? Wait, what about Nexus?
Nexus. That's what I was going for with that.
Sorry.
Nexus.
I'm here like masterfully avoiding being asked, and here I've discovered.
Are you an elitist?
Really?
I mean, not particularly, don't think. Maybe I don't do, but I'm not gonna
like
fight anyone about it.
Elitist would say.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Mikado, there are like 3 whole elitists, and they can fit in the first row with plenty of people around them, so it's fine.
Okay, elitist. So what about VIP packages? You ever done it?
I've been thinking about it while we were talking, and I genuinely think I may have done VIP more times than not, or at least comparable amount.
Whoa.
I do it a lot.
Why?
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, why? For who?
Where I live, I usually go to like very small concerts, because when it's happening in Prague, it's probably like a very tiny concert. So it's the kind of people that come here, their VIP ticket costs like €25 and the regular costs 13. So we just get the VIP because we want to support, and there's not all that many people. And I mean, I will take a photo, why fuck not? And I like being in the front, so that's another thing. Ironically, I am more likely to do VIP for a band I don't care about that much if it's cheap than I am for a band that I do care about if it's like super expensive or it's going to be like super hard to get it. Like with Gazette, I have never done VIP with Gazette because it's like way too many people. It's super crowded. It's extremely competitive even among the VIPs themselves.
That's true.
It's like you get a VIP and you can still be like in the 5th row because there's just so many. I did it for Diran Grey once, and I was frankly quite disappointed for the high price and what was in it. We just kind of like herded into a room with him and took a very lukewarm picture and had a very lukewarm Q&A session, and it was somewhat awkward. And there were so many people that I genuinely I went to 3 concerts that tour, and my spot when I was a VIP was no better than the one I had the day before when I wasn't a VIP.
Oh, it's kind of fucked.
What other VIPs did you do?
I usually always do VIPs for Mikado.
Okay.
Then like the small bands, I kind of.
Did you do one for Kamidro?
I did.
I
did.
How was that?
I had a VIP in when I was seeing him in Finland. It was nice. It was nicer than when you do it with Versailles, because like it's just him. So at the signing session, you can tell him like 3 sentences he doesn't care about it anymore.
Yeah.
But it was nice to be like relatively in the front, because that's one of the things I care about the most. Like, screw the pictures or whatever. I do like being in the front because I'm not that tall. Even with NBT being like, well, most of the people at the JROCK concerts are short girls. I don't know what kind of girls are at your concerts, but I don't usually get the short ones.
Okay.
NBT's not that tall either.
Yeah.
Like, NBT's like an average height, so.
Yeah. Well, in Japan, I would say I'm above average, though.
Yeah.
Oh, NBT's big in Japan, boy.
What I mean is that I don't have this problem with tall people in Japan.
Yeah.
I like that. Go on.
Sorry. I get kind of frequent breathing trouble. So if I'm not like quite in the front where there's more air, I have to be all the way in the back because I can't breathe in the middle. It's just not happening.
That's actually something that I've seen a lot during, I guess, at concerts, because a lot of the people who would be in the front are like shorter girls, and I mean, they're still by the front, but they're not like in the actual front row, the first row, so they end up being like almost suffocating. No, well, not on the sides, but they're like in the middle, so maybe like the third or the fourth row.
You're fucking suffocating in the middle. If you can't get the first 3 rows, you're better off either all the way back, because at least you can see and there's more air, or on the sides.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of those like shorter girls being taken away because they're suffocating.
That did happen actually when I went to Versailles maybe 10, 11 years ago now. Damn. It was really hot.
You're old.
That was really hot that day, and I think somebody fainted that gig.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think they probably had maybe underlying health issues, but they fainted as well. And
I've seen
you can't. Yeah, sometimes it just happens, unfortunately.
You just
I think there's
over the barriers and carry them out.
There's other situations where I've seen fainting, but I can't remember. I remember Versailles very clearly.
I actually almost nearly fainted at the last Gazette in 2019 in Munich, because it was so fucking hot. And
I remember. Yeah,
ventilated at all.
I heard about.
I was all the way on the side on like stairs, so there was air and everything, but it was still so fucking hot. It was like a freaking oven. I nearly fucking died.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing with some shows where like you go in and like the show starts, and at the end of the show you're like, I don't remember jumping in a pool. Why am I so wet?
Take off the shirt and you can just squeeze water out of it because it's so sweaty.
Yeah, it can get that bad too. And spoiler, most of that sweat, not yours.
Yeah, Jesus. Remember the good old pre-COVID times when you could just like be at a summer concert and the staff would just pass out water bottles and they would share it with people and nobody would worry about dying from disease. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, some people were worried about dying from disees, but other people
listen, that's why you want listen, that's why I want to be in the first row, because then you get the bottle first, and who cares what other people do with it.
Great, you've got your COVID passport, so you can be like,
zero,
I've got it. It's all right. I'm good. Don't worry, Mom.
Wait. What if they reuse the bottle or the cup?
They usually don't.
No, Dick, they don't do that.
I mean, what if? You don't know. You don't know.
Did you break the seal on the cap, or did that?
For most of the concerts that I've been to, they just passed like cups, not like bottles.
Okay, where I've been, they like brought up like packaged packs of bottles of water, and they were just opening them and handing them out.
Well, that's VIP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is like the second or third time you guys have mentioned something like this. Maybe I just don't pay attention enough, or maybe it's because I'm always in the middle. But I've never had that happen.
Yeah, the water never makes it to the middle. It's like the first 5 rows.
I've never seen the water.
Really?
I've been close enough to get spit on by like the singer or whatever when they like drink a bunch of water and just spit it out all over the audience. But like other than that, like I've never seen water getting handed out to people by staff or anything.
Yeah, like how visceral feeling of how bad the concert has to be when the singer fucking spits water at the audience. You are like refreshing.
Let me say something.
I mean, it's always refreshing as long as the singer is good.
Stop that. I saw Answer like years ago or so, and let me tell you, that was the wettest gig I've ever been to.
Down there
were cups, like they were throwing, like water was being spat out, but I can't remember the vocalist's name, forgive me, and water was just on the floor everywhere, and it was just
the band was so sexy.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably not water.
It was definitely water. It was definitely water. I hope it was. It was just wet, and that was the wettest gig I've been to. I don't think it was even that hot because it was in February.
Yeah, so it's not sweat and it's not water.
You just said it was definitely water. I mean, the wettest gig I've been to was I went to that Bang Dream 5th Live, and they had water cannons that like periodically shot water like 40 feet in the air and all over the audience. It was really cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that sounds cool.
It was also like last September, so everybody was like, "Oh, that's really nice," but I can't really cheer or anything because I got a mask on and I'm glued to this chair.
Yeah.
So it was cool, but it would have been a lot better if we weren't afraid of dying.
Everybody was standing up and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was cool.
I like that. Me and Nexus are like opposites because I would not. I'm happy seeing the band from the back, and I can see the band from the back. If I go any closer to the middle, I can't see anything. So if I go to the I've probably been to the front maybe once or twice, but I prefer the back.
Listen, where I live, if you're not going to a small concert in Prague, you usually have to travel quite far to actually see a band. And if I'm going all the way to fucking Germany or to Brussels or to fucking I don't know where, Poland, I'm probably going to want to have a better experience.
Fucking Poland.
Back, so I just buy the VIP so I can be in the front.
That makes it worth it.
If I'm already going all the way there,
Yeah. I think this leads back to what I was saying, that the VIPs really vary between each band, and obviously the experiences are gonna also vary. So that's what I was getting at when I was like, none of it really speaks to me as of yet.
But when I was seeing Mana in Finland, I got the VIP because it wasn't a concert, it was a convention, and the VIP ticket included meeting Mana, and the non-VIP ticket didn't. So what am I going to do? Not see him? I guess you could see him, but the VIP ticket had an event where I could meet him in a room and look at him up close for about 30 seconds.
I mean,
look at his pores.
Yeah. See how very small he is, and
how there's no Photoshop here.
It's real life.
Real life. Yeah.
With a nose and everything. Wow.
No filters.
And also, it was super fucking hard to get those tickets. I had to have 4 people on it, and only one of us got one ticket. And it was graciously given to me because it was determined that out of all the people I care the most about Mana, and to this day I'm very grateful for my friend for giving that to me, because the person who actually managed to get a ticket wasn't me, it was my friend.
Oh, your friend is a good person, definitely.
Yeah. Thanks, Nexus friend.
Thank you, Nexus friend. Bless.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of follow up on the ticket pricing for VIP tickets.
Yeah, that's the biggest part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I like a lot of the VIP tickets that I've been paying for. They are sometimes they are twice the price of the regular tickets, and the thing is that the regular ticket is already expensive to begin with. So I'm not talking about these small venues. So if we're talking about bigger concerts, would you guys still be interested in the VIP tickets if there were let's say instead of €100 or dollars. If they were twice the price, would you guys still be interested in those?
Well, I think that's what the Deer and Grey tickets were last time. They were pretty expensive.
But you were pretty salty about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, because they were so expensive, and it kind of sucked for how much it cost. So I probably wouldn't be interested in those unless it was like literally Mana again, because that one was expensive as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in defense of Nexus, because that was one of the things I wanted to kind of say is, from what I've seen specifically of like the Deer on Grey stuff, not to say anything bad about the band or anything, but because they have the status they have and the amount of fans they have, whenever I have seen pictures that are part of the VIP package, like fans with the band, also I think it's probably because of some of the personas that they put on for it. They look like they don't want to fucking be there.
Yeah. But I think that's, I don't know, that's
spending mad money to be in a picture with somebody who doesn't want to be in a picture with me.
Yeah. But it's,
Sir, please
like,
just pretend for 12 seconds back.
it's also, and I hate to say it, sometimes it is quite funny because they do like crack sometimes. Like you'll see Kyoto crack in one photo and you're like, what's going on there? And it is funny, like to an extent, but not like, I personally, because you're facing the camera and they're right behind you, you don't know what's going on.
No.
So I personally wouldn't do that, you know.
I mean, the one that I always get reminded of was it's a few different VIP shots from here in the States.
Yes, the VIP shots in the States are funny.
The fans are like standing there, and then there's a guardrail, and then there's a band behind the guardrail, and then there's Kyo off to the side. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking of.
But you guys should probably like describe how the positioning of the people in the photo is, because it's very unique the way they take photos with Deer and Grey, right?
Definitely, but at the same time, it feels like it's such a fucking chore for them.
Yeah,
it's like I'm inconveniencing them by paying them.
Yeah, but could you describe how the structure is, like how they are positioned, the fans and the band?
Well, the band usually stands in the band lineup, and the fans sit in front of them, like they're taking a picture with an exhibit.
Yeah, one of the exhibits has somehow woken up in the middle of the night and wandered off 2 feet.
Oh wow!
So that's a very strange kind of way.
For the US one though, it was the band but I think beside the stage, like back to the stage, they were separated, like they were spaced out between each other, and then the gate is like a few, like I would say a few centimeters away, like quite a few centimeters away, and then there's the guardrail, and then the people who are taking the photo of them are on the guardrail.
But actually, this is better than what Gazette offers in some ways, because you can't even take photos with the Gazette, right?
But you get a handshake event, no?
What
that's cool.
The noseband fell off, man. That would be the scandal of the century.
With Deer and Grey, you do not get the handshake event, so I guess Gazette still pulls some worth.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
This is why I was saying it's like the individual worth is more important, because we're talking about it like all differently, and individual worth is definitely something to factor in. So we're not like knocking it, but other people will appreciate it.
For you to take a picture with an exhibit of Deer and Grey, of which one part has wandered off to the side and isn't even looking at the camera, go ahead. I think it's actually kind of cute when Q is all the way to the side. At least it's an interesting picture.
You know, it's interesting because, you know, I don't think it's great, but at the same time, when I went to, it wasn't a VIP thing, but when I went to a Deviloof event NBT went to, it was funny because everyone who took a picture with them obviously had their own kind of unique experience with it. But in every single picture, Aisaku was doing the same thing, which was he was looking away from the camera, so you only had a side view of him, and he's giving the finger with both hands and looking up towards the sky.
Oh, no.
He's the same in every picture, but everyone else is a little bit more, like, fun and personalized, depending on the person they're taking the picture with.
Yeah, I mean, Aisaku is a bit different than the others.
Aisaku's CBD Deviloof.
The alien, what they say.
Yeah, I mean, he's generally speaking, like, he's also very distinct and different, like the way he performs, like on stage as well. So everything about him is like different from Deviloof. But I think it's a pretty cool thing still. So I think it's a positive thing.
That's good to hear, because
in that sense, it's great because, you know, he's the alien, but like with Kyo not even wanting to be in the picture with you or his bandmates, it's just
I think it's now I'm speculating, but I think it's kind of memeing it that he's leaving the picture. I'm not quite sure.
I can see that, but at the same time, it still hurts my fucking heart.
Yeah, like when I just like compare the VIP pictures I have with like some of the small bands or like Mikaru, that essentially the VIP ticket costs like €13 because the 13 is the regular and the VIP is 25, so it's like barely anything. And you're like, they ask you what pose you want to make, and you're like throwing personalized poses and making silly pictures, and it's just, you know, like fun. It looks like they're enjoying your presence, even if they might be faking for money. I don't care. At least it's an enjoyable experience. But then you get something that costs like 80 or €100, and the band just looks like they genuinely don't want to be there. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I think with also like the mock VIP, from when I saw it last time, all four of them were like literally like next to the person who bought the ticket, and that photo, and they're smiling and everything, and that is the kind of VIP I would expect, you know. I think it was same for Garugamesh VIP as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Maki and Garugamesh are like two bands that are really kind of like, I would say like genuine and very like fan close in a way.
And they're on the same label as well, so they probably just done it same.
Oh, yeah, that's true, Mavericks. But yeah, I mean, since we pretty much hung out with Ryu backstage, so we know how cool like and chill these guys are.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and for Mach, when their drummer Satoshi was, they had like a birthday concert, and what it brought out was like a birthday cake that was like two boobs, like a pair of boobs for his birthday cake.
Two boobs specifically,
like a pair of boobs, so not just like one boob.
Okay, it was like they went together. It wasn't like one individual boob. Okay.
Yeah.
Free boobs.
But like, I mean, they have this kind of like personality. I would not be able to like imagine not Devil. I mean, During Grey do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to be pretty fun.
They sound so sad.
I guess
there's footage of even like their live shows where they were like, you know.
Oh yeah, true.
Like even
six ugly, I guess. Six ugly era.
Yeah. I mean, there's even one from like way back when, where I think maybe it was their first Budokan. I can't remember, but it's like towards the end of the show, and they start playing, I think, Isle. And like it plays like the piano bit, and then it just turns into Zan, and Kyo's like Baka, and like he's yelling and laughing and smiling, and it turns into Zan, and it was like the whole audience was totally fooled into thinking that they were about to have a nice slow song, and then it just gets really fun.
Bamboozle.
Got him. Yeah. So, but NBT, you keep mentioning this band Muck. I've never heard of them.
Muku.
I
thought that was a Pokemon card.
No, it's based on a children's character in Japan.
Like I've always been calling them Muku or Mook or something.
Oh, Muku. Oh, yeah. That one I've heard of.
Okay, that's okay. Sorry, guess we said it wrong.
No, there are people who will get really offended if you say it wrong. So I was just messing with you guys.
Is it wrong? Isn't it just two ways to say it? I genuinely don't know.
I think you're probably right about that. But there are the people who are like, you got to say it the Japanese way.
The thing is, there are some bands that actually like when they speak English, for example, they pronounce their name kind of like the English way, but when they speak about themselves in Japanese, they would use the kind of like Japanese pronunciation. So like in that sense, it's correct depending on kind of like what language you're using.
I mean, you ever ask a Japanese person if they've ever heard of JROCK ONSEN?
Well,
like you're fucking insane because that sounds nothing like how it's pronounced in Japanese.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that.
But it's even like, for example, like nano. That's like the English way of pronouncing it, but in Japanese it would be more like nano instead of nano. So it's subtle, but like still there are differences.
I feel like nano is like an American way of saying it.
Well, she's American.
Nano. I mean, yeah, but like Americans would be like, oh, if they don't know the artist, they'd be like nano, and I'd be just like, it's just nano, like just chill, just like stop,
chill the fuck out. Well, I mean, I haven't really said exactly if I've been to VIP yet, but I haven't. I mean,
you said you have reasons for it, so like, give us an abridged version of them reasons.
For the most part, it is kind of like if I would do it, it would be for a band like Diron Gray because they're like one of my favorites. But I kind of told you the reason already is because VIP, they seem less interested in that than like, the local food. Like, they themselves haven't sold it to me yet. I could never justify it. I mean, even after the whole lockdown and everything, I can't justify going to their VIP because there's nothing they could offer me where I'd be like, well, hell yeah. Like I would much rather just not save a few dollars and not. And as Nexus said, it's obscenely expensive every time I've ever seen it. Like there was one time where I was like, I should just do it just to like, have that experience under my belt. And I was like, what? That's more than double the price of a ticket. Forget about it.
Yeah, genuinely, the one time I did it was half my friends talking me into it, half like, well, I guess I should cross this off the bucket list.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna die and not.
But you don't care about being in the front, like if
that's the other thing, and you're totally right about that. There have been times where like I do get to events early, and where I've been able to get the merch really quick, and then I have to intentionally be like, oh, you want to go in front of me? Yeah, go for it, until I end up towards the middle where the pit does get the craziest.
Interesting. Somebody who willingly stays in the middle and just like doesn't need every toll.
Yeah,
we forget that.
I know that screws over a bunch of people. Like for me, a live show is, it's about the music and seeing the band and everything, but it's also about trying to make sure that everybody in the audience is at least having a decent time. Because if you got a bunch of dissatisfied people behind you, that's some negative energy floating around. There's no way you're not going to feel it.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah. I like even though I'm not like super tall, there are still many times that I would let people like stand in front of me because otherwise they wouldn't be able to see anything.
Yeah, I have done it a couple times, and there was like a super short Japanese girl like right behind me, and I just let her stand in front of me because she was genuinely like up to my shoulder. She wouldn't have seen shit.
I think there were lots of like short people I had seen at Mika. I just remember that, and I was like, oh crap! Like because of the way the venue was shaped, it made it kind of more difficult to see the stage in some cases. So yeah,
it was like a triangular shape or something like that.
Yeah, and it was like it went curved upwards.
Yeah,
weird.
So
super strange, but it was a really old venue. I mean, a lot of places in London are kind of like old. So
yeah, London old as fuck.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Old as fuck.
Why don't they modernize that fucking place, man?
Because it's Robert
Like the city of London?
Yeah.
I guess it's got historical value to keep the old buildings.
It was a joke. Like, London? The city of London? It was a joke.
Zoe?
I understand the historical value. Okay, well, I mean, I guess for the most part, it seems like we're all kind of not super into VIP. But the other thing I think with our opinions, especially now, is sometimes we get to do things as press that not everyone else gets to do. Yeah, like there are like that Bang Dream show that I covered. There's no way I would have been able to go to that if I wasn't press, and it was really great. I'm really thankful to Bushiroad for allowing us to do that. And, you know, it was allowing us to cover it, which is beneficial to them. But still, it's really great to have had that experience.
Yeah, the thing is with Bushiroad is that they've been really like friendly with the people from overseas, so. They have people that would help us with that, which is really wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. It's really great when they're willing to help out the press. But again, as you know, NBT and I have said, kind of, I guess off screen, off mic, is like one of our big goals is not to just be like, yeah, I went to all this stuff, I'm super cool, but to be like, more people need to hear this band. I want this band to be more successful, and I want them to put out more music and for more people to be able to experience it.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, otherwise, like, there's so many bands that we wouldn't care about even like publishing and talk about if we didn't have this kind of ambition. Because, I mean, what we are trying to do is mainly to kind of like promote the stuff that we like and that we believe in, and not just like, oh, this band is big and that's why we should promote it because people will like it. That wouldn't have like any kind of like meaning to it otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I think people can probably see that from the outside, judging by like what gets published compared to what just doesn't.
So now we've come into an era of where live streams are becoming more common. Would you do online VIP?
I've never seen online VIP.
I've seen it once. They allow you to see the sound check.
Oh, okay. That's the first. Because I've always researched. Sometimes they'll have like a 3,000 yen ticket, and then they'll have a 10,000 yen ticket where you get to see, where you'll get either a t-shirt. Sometimes you'll get the live CD of the performance.
You get it like sent to? You get it like mailed to?
Yeah, mail to you. Or you get some other thing included into it. And you get a download of the show.
Oh, okay. You know, that's worth it.
So yeah, I mean, would you pay money for that? Because I know Glams have that kind of thing on YouTube now, where you can pay money to see their like content that's I guess private, and Unlucky Morpheus as well. Yeah. So yeah, would you do that?
I'd pay any money for Unlucky Morpheus.
For Fuki.
Have you seen Fuki? Oh my god.
Yes, I have seen Fuki.
But
twice.
I can probably bring up some of the comments, because this question is very related to that. That's because a lot of our commenters have virtually attended live concerts that are live streamed. And one of our top fans on Facebook, Bunny Cruz, she bought a VIP ticket for Sengoku Jidai, The Age of Civil Wars. And it included a t-shirt, and that was really great because they shipped it overseas, which, I mean, you wouldn't expect that from every Japanese band. So she also said that was great, and D also has many tickets options with multiple goodies, but unfortunately they don't ship overseas.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say with that whole, you know, a piece of merch and it getting shipped to you, that definitely is worth it, because if you're going to go to a show, for myself, 9 times out of 10 you're going to buy some merch while you're there anyway, and if it's already included with the ticket price, especially if there's no merch booth for you to go to. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments too, and I'm seeing it's interesting. A lot of people have done Deer on Grey. I feel like Deer on Grey does VIP a lot, and people are saying it was worth it for them, which that's great. Like, you know, I said some negative things, but if it was worth it for you, I mean, you're the real winner here. Like, we got Christine. She said it was definitely worth it. I did it for Deer on Grey and the Gazette, and I got to meet my heroes. And yeah, at the end of the day, you did still get to see them up close and personal. I mean, I got.
What, you mean Gazidi?
The Gazette.
Gazidi?
I got to see. It was Shinya and Kaoru for a signing thing. It was one of their shows they did here in California. If you bought their most recent DVD, you could get it signed at the end of the show, and they were the two who came out because, you know, you didn't buy VIP, you don't get the whole band. And there was a very specific no touching clause, and it was nice to, you know, actually see them up close, and they were just like, oh, thanks, you know, like they didn't say oh thanks, but they were like, oh, and they took it and signed it, and here you go, very polite, and I was like, you guys are cool. But yeah, I you're the real winner here.
I mean, you guys gave, like, I'm just gonna put it like bluntly, you guys give shit for Deer and Grey's way of handling VIPs. But I actually see a comment here by Rusa or Desu on Twitter, and the person said, yes, I've been VIP for Deer and Grey 3 times, Miyavi and One OK Rock twice. And the follow-up comment was, and yes, it was worth it. So that person had a completely different experience from you guys, or your
I mean, I have no experience to speak of. I just observe and report.
Well, your observations then, your observational experience.
Yeah, like a lot of people did do Deer on Grey, but one of the interesting ones I'm seeing is a BMBRBY. Which Bomber B? Yeah, it's one of the commenters. They said, did it once for a special Deviloo free show. Instead of just being free, it cost me about the same as a normal show, but got to see the rehearsal and take a photo with the band plus a signed poster. Definitely worth it. Yeah, something like that is really cool, especially if you end up with signed stuff afterwards. And my experience with Deviloo, they're like the coolest guys on the planet. So that would be something I'd be interested in. You
actually paid VIP more or less for Deviloo, because when we saw them the day after, when they had this meet and greet event, you had to buy an album to get a photo with them.
Yeah, which I think that was like my second or third copy of that album.
Damn.
Yeah, that was my second copy.
Yeah,
inflating the record sales over here.
And of course, VIP works very different in Japan. Like you have to buy, I guess sometimes you have to buy 4 copies of the same single.
Yeah.
And then you can go to the meet and greet in like a Zero Link store or whatever, and then you can take get a photo with them, like a checky photo with them.
Yeah.
And that to me is a lot more worth it than, like, I know, but it's because I'm not paying any money. I've just spent money on a release, so I don't know. I find that much more worth it, and then having the opportunity to see the band, and then maybe if there's like an acoustic live with it, that's also worth it. Sometimes there's always added extras to it, so I think that's I prefer that most. I was meant to have like a photo with Nocturnal Bloodlust, but I got too drunk, so I didn't go.
Oh, that wasn't worth it.
You literally just unlocked a memory that I did get a VIP with Nocturnal Bloodlust, and I completely forgot about it.
Wow. There you go.
Drunk to partake.
No. It's just I've been to a lot of concerts. I can't keep it all in active memory. Okay?
Oh, humble brag.
To follow up on some of the comments, there were several comments that actually mentioned Sengoku Jidai, like Terry M. Loiero. So, I mean, there were so many people that actually enjoyed this live stream VIP tickets. I didn't expect it to be so well received. Although the people who commented, most of them are positive, so I'm not sure what to make out of it.
I think the part of the reason for that may be, like, I can't say for sure, but I feel like a lot of people haven't had the chance to go to live shows, not in general, but live shows for specific bands, especially because either they just don't come to their country, or if they do come to their country, they just don't come anywhere near them, or their schedule just can't line up with it. And the fact that these live streams are so much more accessible, it's just like the fact that it's even there is like, whoa, dude, like finally I can be a part of it.
So it's always like a positive thing for them.
Yeah, definitely. Like when Deviloof, the first live stream Deviloof ever did was on like Facebook video off of like a staff member's smartphone. And it was like the greatest thing ever. It was before I ever even went out to Japan. And I was like, this is amazing. Like I one of my friends out here, we watched it together. You know, he was at home, I was at home. And like, it was just great. And there were people, you know, from all over the world. It was very interesting as an experience. And it was nice, even though it was like as low quality gets. It was like they put in the effort at least.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I guess not going to concerts is like a first world problem because there are people living in like bumfuck nowhere that are having a great fucking time right now when it comes to JROCK.
Well, as Haku said, like concerts are music is an essential thing. While you eat to live, you have to have music to kind of like fulfill the needs of your soul.
That's a fucking lie.
Some people
I'm paraphrasing though.
I would say it's true if you just say art in general, because music is a form of art that you choose out of art that you can enjoy. Some people just don't enjoy music. They're weird, but they exist.
This is true.
What music do you listen to? I don't listen to music.
Oh, fuck you.
You would be surprised with how many times I've gotten that response. Or, just whatever's on.
Yeah, I don't like when people say like, I just listen to everything. They don't listen to everything.
That's true.
And you're like, oh, really? Are you into clowncore?
Yeah, I love that.
I thought you listened to everything, bruh.
People usually say, I listen to everything but was
rap
it?
and country, that's always in
Yeah, country. Yeah.
It is, though, isn't it? I listen to everything except rap and country.
Yeah.
It's always in there. I don't know why it's always in the answer.
I don't know. It's like a bot answer. Everyone's bot.
I think it's just because, you know, so many people live here in the States, and not only that, but so many people live in specific parts of the States, and they look down on people who are into country. And then if you're into rock, like really into it, there's always that stage of being into rock or heavy music where you're like, everything else is garbage. And then when you start opening your horizons a little more, you're like, I guess other music can be okay, except rap. That's the enemy.
Well, they have new metal. That's freaking dope.
Depends.
You say new metal, but like, you know, in terms of like genre elitists and stuff, I think new metal is a little bit different. I think you're thinking more like the more recent kind of stuff, kind of like thugcore and like what Choke does with their trap metal and stuff.
Not to that extent. I mean, to some extent, Maximum the Hormone is kind of like new metal, depending on which song it is.
Yeah, it really does depend on, like, if you can't pinpoint a band on like a genre, sometimes they'll just put elements of that into it, so it makes it harder to like define them as like a new metal or this particular genre.
Like, I really don't think that people who say this consider rapping over metal actually rap.
Oh, well, you mean like they just don't care about pure rap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding of new metal is a little bit different, but you know, you can educate me later.
Killing in the name of
Thank you. I'll do what you tell me. All right. Well, do we have any other viewers we want to get to before we start closing up here?
Yeah, maybe we can do that.
Vampiric Sarcasm here. Looks like their screen name is Valerie. But VIP tickets for both Versailles, depending on how you want to pronounce it, and Solo. Well, I don't really like the concert of them. It is nice to have early access so you can stand closer to the stage. And what really makes them worthwhile is being able to take a picture with your favorite artists. I will say, though, having been to a couple of concerts in Japan, that most of the things that classify as VIP benefits are either covered by a fan club subscription or free there. Or you have the option of buying a certain amount of merch and then receiving a checky as well.
Which I was mentioned before.
There are different kind of benefits that pop up in Japan that they just don't do it here.
But you don't have to get the fan club stuff like subscription.
Not all the time. No, not all the time.
Yeah, and I hate getting like these fan clubs subscription stuff, because that means like if I'm into like 10 bands, like a lot, that means that my monthly like salary is gone.
A lot.
My monthly band.
It's like yearly, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's really good that if you can just buy the VIP package for just that concert, that saves you a lot of money in a sense.
I mean, let me save you some money here. You only need to be subscribed to Unlucky Morpheus
and our YouTube channel,
and the third one is whoever you want. But those two, that's all you need.
But not country or rap.
Yeah, no country.
None of those.
Yeah. We also have another comment by Annika Eriksson, and she said, if it's a live stream, it would have to come with a package bundle, or else it's not worth it.
Not even worth it.
No. Don't give a shit about it then. If it's not
I don't know if those were the exact words, but
well, paraphrased.
Yeah, we got an interesting one from Luke Ellis. Says, not Japanese, but I bought a couple of live stream tickets for Seven Dust and one for Biffy Clyro. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They were really fun. So, I mean, a VIP is VIP. So some people, maybe they've done it for Western bands or Middle Eastern bands. I don't know. I don't judge. But yeah, VIP is VIP. So definitely it's worth it for some people.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I haven't actually tried live stream VIP tickets yet. Because I don't know, I don't feel the same appeal if I don't get connected with the artist in the same way with like actual in-person VIP tickets.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I think and there's also like a bit not off topic, but same kind of vein. Like if you I think going back to Vampiric, what's the name? Sorry. Going back to Vampiric Sarcasm's comment, if you buy like a CD or a limited edition thing, sometimes you can have Zoom calls with the band members for maybe a few seconds, maybe I wouldn't say a few seconds, I would say for a few minutes. And that's also really cool. So it's also that personal interaction you get from just buying their release. So
shit! What would you even say?
Korean.
Sorry,
forgot to say, huh?
I said I don't even speak Korean. Like, how would that even go down?
안녕하세요.
No idea, but yeah, Arudu kind of done it, and Kizu have done it. And I'm pretty sure other bands have done it, but I think that's a pretty good way. It would be a bit of a problem if you're overseas. I mean, a bit of a problem.
You mean the time difference?
Time, yeah.
They're like, hey, we're calling you at 4 a.m.
Yeah. I'm just waking up.
I mean, I would totally do that. Like waking up at 4 a.m. for that.
Oh yeah, for Unlucky Morpheus?
Well, I would do it for Shiren because
dude, he is the coolest.
Or Fumiya. I fucking love Fumiya's drumming.
Yeah.
Fuki, she's good, but not on a simp level for me.
I hear that. Buzz is like, why are you lying, bitch? Stop lying.
Oh, this is bad. All right. Well, I guess with that one, does anyone have any final thoughts they wanna shout? No. Okay. I hear like a spoon in a teacup clank against the glass.
It's like I just want to leave.
No.
My coffee.
My final thought is to each their own. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good conclusion. Yeah.
MBT, any final thoughts?
Not really. I agree with what Sis said.
You already said not really. That's it. You got to stop there. All right, Nexus, can you put your coffee down for a second? You have any final thoughts?
The spirit of the VIP ticket is about what's worth it for you.
Yeah, 100%. So, with that one, we'll be getting out of this bath now, which I wonder if in the future we're going to be able to keep doing baths with the state of the world. But anyway, on a kind of somber note, I've been your host, Mazo, with co-host Nexus.
Bye.
And co-host Sis.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the most special of special guests, NBT.
Oh, quack, quack, quack.
I got it that time. I heard it.
Yep.
Yep.